zachitika kuti zachitika nthawi zanji kodi nanga amene wapanga ndani musakhale nawo gulu lovutika ndi mphekesera ayi tapangani subscribe ku Malawi Daily Headlines lero kuti zochitika mdziko mwanu momwe zisamakuphonyeni. Kulandirani kwina kulikonse kumene muli pano pa Malawi Daily Headlines, ndipo ngati mwangotipeza kumene tapangani subscribe komanso like kuti update ina iliyonse isamakuphonyeni mnthawi yake. Panotu takubweretserani zomwe anayankhula Akweni ku nyumba ya malamulo, zinthu zofunikira kwambiri zomwe zikhoza kupindulira dziko lathu la Malawi komanso kupititsa miyoyo ya Amalawi patsogolo. Takhale pomwepo kuti tithe kumva kunena kuti Akweni anayankhula zotani ku nyumba ya malamulo. Takhale pomwepo.
I see the honorable member for Mulanje West. For you, you have the floor, madam. Just to remind you, your party only is short for one. So if you hear of the next by-elections, please go and camp there to get this one and come here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker Malume, for giving me the floor to comment on this bill. Let me assure you, the Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, that I stand to support this bill. And before I comment on this bill, allow me to digress a little bit by thanking the Minister of Local Government in absentia for promoting Senior T.A. Juma to Senior Chief Juma. I've been sent by the people of Mulanje West to say thank you so much. And through him, I would like to thank the government for recognizing some chiefs from Mulanje district in those positions. And they also allow me to thank the Minister of Transport and the Vice President South, who is the Minister of Finance, and also the Minister of Homeland, who is also Secretary General of the ruling party, to thank them for thinking about the Mulomba and Kando Mulomba Road, that when road authority is going to put some of the work, but they're going to finish with a tarmac. It's a thing which cannot go without patting them at the back. And thanking government for thinking about the people of Mulanje and also those of Palombe, and I'm sure all of us we are here. So we thank government, we thank the president, we thank the ministers for thinking about the people of Mulanje West. Having said that, the first Deputy Speaker, the Right Honorable, I would like to comment on this bill, and I would like to support this bill. The security market plays a critical role in mobilizing savings, promoting investment, and also strengthening our financial system, and any effort aimed at improving transparency, accountability, and proper management of investors' funds must therefore be welcomed. The Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, this bill addresses an important gap in our current legal framework. We have had a situation where money belonging to citizens remain unclaimed for long periods, sometimes because of death, sometimes because of change of address of the investors, or lack of awareness or administrative failure. Such funds cannot be left in the hands of institutions indefinitely without claim or clear rules, or without clear rules of accountability. And that's why the Minister of Finance is coming in to say we need to have rules, and we need to have also this amendment, which must also which is also ensuring our desire to harmonize. Harmonization does not even create a situation where citizens lose track of their rightful property. So if the unclaimed money is going to stay for a long time, I might propose to the Minister of Finance, though I heard from, is it bill number 9 or number 10, that money is not tampered, but I was thinking of saying, because when you are registering an account, or when we are registering an account in the banks, they're saying, who is the next kin, as to what Honorable Philanjo has said, the next of kin that's supposed to be called if the money is dormant, because we've seen the system reminding the investors to say, your account is dormant if there is no money or you're not active. But if there's a lot of money in that account and it is not being tampered, It has been there and claimed for a long time. Let these institutions also put a system where they're going to be reminding investors to say there's something here. If not, they've got to call these next of kin to say, I don't know whether the owner of this account is alive or dead, but there's a lot of money which is not even dumped. Yes, indeed, we might even tell our partners, but with today's life, you never know. People, they can even use some bank cards to withdraw money, or they can connive or whatever. So you cannot even trust. You cannot even trust. That's why we don't even read the dreams of our partners when you are sleeping. That's the secret which God has created between two of us, so that you cannot read what this partner is dreaming about. Wow, you might also dream somebody while you are there. So for people to come and say, this is my account, or I'm having savings with this person, I don't know, but what I'm advising...
Honorable spokesperson, you're speaking in parables. The chair
but what I would like to propose to the Minister of Finance, the institution, they've got to be reminding the investors if there's money which is unclaimed, to say, even calling the next of kin to say, we just want to find out whether the owner of the account is alive or not. Because if we heard about, we've seen some of these cases where institutions are keeping money, they're failing to trace the owner of the money. A lot of money, they are in the banks without tracing the owners. But if they can call the next of kin, maybe the better. But also, we are proposing to the Minister of Finance, if the government, who is going to be the custodian of this, if they can also, we've seen during the Pope's Day, people moving around, looking for money, to say, would you please donate some for the Pope's Day? Why can't we unclaim the money, have an account or have an institution where it's supposed to be kept there, and the funds should add up to the Pope's Day, or the funds should be adding up to whatever these retired soldiers are getting, that they can be getting something else. But also we've seen that there's a student loan, and some of them, they've failed to apply online, the student loan. We can also have a delivery policy of this and claim the money to those social services, to those who are really vulnerable, but they're failing to pay their school fees who are in the universities. We can also add up to that, the unclaimed money. So these are the proposals which I'm proposing to the Minister of Finance, so that they've got to look into it, as we are also having public awareness and the tracing of these beneficiaries, but also the mere transfer of unclaimed money into the government management framework does not even solve the problem. The real question is, how do we ensure that the rightful owners or their beneficiaries eventually receive the monies? And this is the way why we are saying we are giving the power to the Minister of Finance and Government to do everything possible. The awareness, even having the money into the social services to support the vulnerable people, the orphans, and even those who are failing to pay their school fees, even the retired soldiers, whereby during Pope's Day they come and ask for money for the functions. That would also help if you can take this and claim the money into that. The last thing which we can ask the Minister of Finance maybe is to look into the Security and Exchange Commission, licensed institutions, and also the Accountant General's Office, where they can maybe work together to create a public database where citizens can verify whether they have unclaimed funds. And also, the Constitution of the Republic of Malawi protects the rights of property. Money invested by the citizens remains the property as well, remains the Constitution's property, even when it has become dormant or unclaimed. Therefore, this amendment must not be intercepted as interpreted as we are giving just money and restricted money to government. But we are looking forward to say that government should have the ownership, but also should act as the custodian of this amount, whereby they had to administer until the rightful owner of the unclaimed money which we are talking about is identified. And this, having said this, the Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, Malume, Kinyama Village, I support this bill in totality on behalf of the people of Mulanje West and the Senior Chief, Juma, who've been newly promoted by the Minister of Local Government. May I part the Minister of Local Government at his back, our Vice President from Southern Region, as well as the Minister of Transport, for the job well done. Thanks so much, the Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable members. The same standing order 128, 5, allows us to recognize the chairperson if they have brought a report. And indeed, we have received a report from the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and the Budget. So I recognize the chairperson for the Budget Committee to take us through. Thank you. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker. I beg to move that this House do adopt the report of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and Budget on Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendment. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, pursuant to the standing orders, this bill was referred to the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal and Budget for consideration and scrutiny. And in carrying out this mandate, the committee engaged the Honorable Minister of Finance, together with officials from the Reserve Bank, to appreciate both the policy and legal rationale behind the proposed amendments. And Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, the bill before this House is essentially a harmonization bill. It seeks to align the Securities Act of 2010 with the Public Finance Management Act of 2022 by establishing a common legal framework for the administration of unclaimed dividends and other securities-related monies. The committee was satisfied that the bill neither introduces a new policy nor alters the ownership of such monies. Rather, it provides a uniform administrative framework under which government assumes custody of unclaimed monies until they have been lawfully claimed by the rightful owners. The committee carefully examined the proposed amendments and found them to be both necessary and appropriate. We were satisfied that they promote consistency across financial sector legislation, strengthen transparency and accountability in the management of unclaimed monies, and provide greater legal certainty for both investors and market participants. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, during our deliberations, members sought assurance that the proposed amendments would not prejudice the rights of lawful beneficiaries. And the committee welcomed the clarification that the transfer of unclaimed monies to government does not extinguish ownership rights. And government merely assumes a custodial role, while beneficiaries retain the right to recover their own monies through procedures prescribed under the Public Finance Management Act. The committee nonetheless observed that the success of this reform would depend on the timely operationalization of the Public Finance Management Act through supporting regulations. We therefore recommend the Minister to expedite the development of those regulations. It has been 4 years since the Public Finance Management was passed in this House, and together with the RBM, the Ministry must undertake sustained public awareness to ensure that investors understand both the new framework and the procedures for reclaiming the unclaimed monies. Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, having carefully scrutinized the bill, the committee is satisfied that the proposed amendments constitute a measured and necessary reform that strengthens governance of Malawi's capital markets while safeguarding the rights of investors. The committee therefore respectively recommends to this Honorable August House to adopt the committee's report and pass Bill number 11 of 2026, the Securities Amendment Bill, without amendment. Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you, Chair. For honorable members, the chairperson was representing 2 committees of this House. Can I recognize a seconder to the honorable member from Chinji West? You have the floor, madam.
Thank you, First Deputy Speaker. I rise to second the motion that this House adopts the report of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and Budget on Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendments. The chairperson has adequately outlined both the purpose of the bill and the committee's findings. I therefore wish only to underscore the committee was satisfied that the proposed amendments are intended to harmonize the Securities Act with the Public Finance Management Act 2022, thereby providing the consistent legal framework for the administration and unclaimed dividends and other securities-related monies. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the committee further satisfied itself that the bill does not deprive investors of their proprietary rights. Rather, it establishes government as the custodian of the unclaimed mandates, pending recovery of the rightful owner through the procedures prescribed by the law. The committee found that the amendments are necessary, prudent, and beneficial to the continued integrity and transparency and accountability of the Malawi capital market. Therefore, First Deputy Speaker, the committee unanimously recommends that the House passes the bill without any amendment. I beg to move. Thank you, First Deputy Speaker.
Beg to second. Honorable members, you have shown us how to second a motion. The chair took 3 minutes and you only took 1 minute. That's secondment. Because you cannot be speaking 10 minutes when the chair only spoke for 3 minutes. Thank you very much. Honorable members, anyone in the committee who wants to add a word? Leader for curtailment.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I beg to move that debate on the report be curtailed in order for the chairperson of the committee to wind up. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honorable Leader. Honorable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is for the curtailment of the committee's report for the chair to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Chairperson, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker. Silence is golden, and it can't be more golden than it has been on the Securities Amendment Bill. I therefore want to thank each and everyone for really agreeing with the committee or the committees. I therefore beg to move that Bill number 11 of 2026, the Securities Amendment Bill, be adopted, the report be adopted by the whole House. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, honour members. We have a motion on the floor. The motion from the chairperson of the Joint Parliamentary Committees of Legal Affairs and the Budget is requesting this House to adopt the report by the committee. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The committee report has been adopted. We now take the honourable member for Karonga Central for debate on the bill. Karonga Central, you have the floor, sir.
Good afternoon, First Deputy Speaker, sir. The gadget here, I think, inadvertently switched on itself. My apologies. Thank you.
But it's good to see you on the floor and good to see you in the House. And I would like to declare interest that you are one of my political mentors, so please continue to be the way you have been. Thank you very much. Leader?
First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the debate on the bill be curtailed in order to allow the Minister of Finance to wind up debate. I beg to move.
Leader, thank you very much. Honourable members, the House has been requested in a motion by the leader that we curtail debate on Bill number 11 of 2026, securities amendments, in order to allow the minister to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Honourable members, I will retake the question. Honourable members, just to make an announcement, we have 3 bills to take today. Remember, this is an extended 1 week of our sitting, and today we have 3 bills to tackle this afternoon. So if this is the level of eyes and nose that we'll be making, then this might be the last bill, because you need also to motivate me. You are more there, we are 4 of us this side. So we need motivation from you. Those of that opinion say aye. Yeah. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Honourable Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. Allow me to thank all the spokespersons that have spoken on supporting this bill, Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendments. All the spokespersons have supported this bill, starting from Malawi Congress Party spokesperson, the UTM spokesperson, the chairperson, as well as the seconder of the report of the chairpersons, and also it has been supported by, for the look, all the entire August House, because as the chair said, silence is golden, meaning that the House has supported this bill. From the chairperson, I think this is Pilanju's mentioned the word securities. In this case, it doesn't refer to the police, the army, or prisons. It refers to instruments. A security, in this case, securities, refers to instruments that are traded, as the spokesperson said, in the money market, in the stock exchange, and also brokerage firms, or the brokers. And these instruments are mainly treasury bills, treasury notes, bonds, or shares. In financial terms, we call them securities. So I'm glad that, Chair, you explained this, because it would be misunderstood that we are talking about security as in security by the police or the army. Thank you very much for that. And the institutions that normally trade these instruments are discount houses, I've said, stock exchange, brokerage, and asset management companies. The UTM spokesperson also supports this bill because it improves transparency and accountability, and it brings in uniformity. And the spokesperson also requested that the financial institutions or the security institutions should always call the next of kin, so that this money, at least they can get the money. But my understanding of unclaimed money, it means that even the next of kin is not available. It can't be traced. Either maybe even the next of kin maybe died before even the owner of either of the instrument or indeed an investment. I think that's the meaning of this unclaimed, meaning there is no bona fide owner of either a deposit or the securities or shares of anything. I think that's what it is referred to as unclaimed. I think the chairperson also supports the bill, and he also emphasized that there should not be prejudice to the rights of the owner of the funds. At least at any point in time, if it's known, he should be able to access the funds. And also, he mentioned that the success of this bill and the other bills that will come depends on the operationalization of the public finance management guidelines or regulations, which I entirely agree. And I want to assure you, Honorable Chair, that these guidelines will be done as soon as possible, and we will consult the August House, more especially the Public Finance Management and the Budget and Finance, the Legal Affairs Committee, once this has been done, like many other regulations that we are supposed to produce. Honorable member from Mchinji West, also who seconded the chair, also underscored the fact that this bill harmonizes the Securities Bill and the Public Financial Management Act with regard to unclaimed money. So, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the August House supports this bill, and therefore, I want to beg to move that this bill be read for a second time. I beg to move.
Thank you. Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion as put by the Honourable Minister of Finance was to ask that Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendment, be read a second time. Those of that opinion, say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried.
Item 3B, Government Business, Bills, Committee Stage, Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendment.
Thank you very much, honour members. Now the bill is at committee stage. I recognize the Honourable Chairperson for the Natural Resources Committee to chair the committee stage. Honourable Chair, please proceed to chair the committee. Thank you.
Honourable members, welcome to the committee stage of Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendment Bill. I wish to inform you that so far the Chair has not received any notice of proposed amendments on this bill. If no one wishes to speak, I now put a question. The question is that Clause 1 to 2 stand part of the bill. Those of the opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Honourable members, this marks the end of the committee stage of Bill number 11 of 2026, Securities Amendment. Thank you for your active participation. Thank you.
Item 3B, government business, bills, report stage, bill number 11 of 2026, securities amendment.
Thank you. I now call upon the Honourable Minister to report.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to report that bill number 11 of 2026 passed through committee stage without any amendments. I therefore beg to move that it be read for a third time.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is that bill number 11 of 2026, securities amendment, be read for a third time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Item 3B, government business, bills, third reading, bill number 11 of 2026, securities amendment.
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that bill number 11 of 2026, securities amendment, be read for a third time and passed.
Honourable members, I now put a question. The question is that bill number 11 of 2026, securities amendment, be read a third time and pass. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried, and the bill has passed.
Item 3B, government business, bills, first reading, bill number 12 of 2026, microfinance amendment.
Honourable members, we now move to bill number 12. So I also request the spokespersons to be ready from the opposition political parties. But Honourable Minister, as you're aware, that this bill has not satisfied the 28-day notice, although it has satisfied the 7-day rule, and that the Speaker has been noticed and he has approved. But we need a motion, a waiver from you, Honourable Minister. I therefore recognize you for the waiver. Thank you. Minister?
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that all the relevant standing orders be waived to allow me to present bill number 12 of 2026, microfinance amendment. This bill, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, has met the 7-day minimum number of days, but it has not met the 28 days requirement. I therefore beg to move that the standing orders be waived to allow me to present this very important bill, the bill that brings uniformity, that brings transparency and accountability with regard to unclaimed money. So I beg to move, Mr. First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable members. There's a motion on the floor. The motion is from the Honourable Minister of Finance requesting this House to waive the 28-day notice for him to present the bill number 12 of 2026, microfinance amendment. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Honour Minister, for second reading when, Honour Minister?
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, today and now.
Honour members, we take another motion. The motion is to allow that Bill number 12 of 2026, microfinance amendment, to be taken today and now. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried.
Item 3B, Government Business, Bills, second reading, Bill number 12 of 2026, Microfinance Amendment.
Thank you. I therefore recognize the Honourable Minister of Finance for the second reading speech. Thank you. Where is the House when the Honourable Minister is going to the dispatch box? Thank you.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the Microfinance Amendment Bill 2026 be now read for the second time. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, this bill seeks to amend the Microfinance Act, Chapter 46, Section 8 of the laws of Malawi to provide for the administration of unclaimed money held by microfinance institutions. You will note, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, that this bill is also part of the wider package of amendments aimed at bringing consistency and uniformity to how unclaimed monies are administered across the Malawi financial sector. In terms of rationale, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the Microfinance Act currently makes no provision for how unclaimed money held by microfinance institutions should be treated. Such a gap, therefore, creates room for misinterpretation on how unclaimed money from the microfinance institutions or sector should be treated. This bill fills that gap by bringing such funds under the Public Finance Management Act 2022, and hence ensuring that microfinance sector is governed by the same standards being applied across the rest of the financial sector. In terms of content, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the bill in Section 2 amends Section 52 of the Microfinance Act by inserting a new Section 52A that requires a microfinance institution to administer any unclaimed money held by it in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act 2022 and adopting the definition of unclaimed money as assigned under the Public Finance Management Act. With regard to impact, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the bill closes a gap in the Microfinance Act, ensuring that all unclaimed funds held by microfinance institutions, like all unclaimed monies in the financial sector, are administered in a uniform, consistent, and transparent manner. In conclusion, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, this bill brings the microfinance sector in line with the uniform standard that this House was to apply to all unclaimed monies across the financial sector and ensuring that no part of that sector remains outside the framework. I therefore urge honourable members of the August House to support the bill. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I beg to move.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. Honourable members, using Standing Order 128, 5 and below, we now recognize spokesperson from political parties in the opposition. The first is Malawi Congress Party, and I recognize the honourable member for Lilongwe Piriranjuzi. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, for the floor. To speak on behalf of the Malawi Congress Party in response to the bill ably presented by the Honourable Minister of Finance, the Microfinance Amendment Bill of 2026, which is yet another consequential amendment bill, and therefore we won't spend much time because it's part of the family of bills being presented in this House so that we harmonize the way unclaimed funds are treated or managed in accordance to the Public Finance Management Act of 2022, specifically thanks, Honourable Deputy Speaker. I was saying that this bill before us is part of the bills that we're amending in this House so that we harmonize the treatment of unclaimed funds, unclaimed money, in accordance to the Public Finance Management Act of 2022, specifically sections 60 to 69, that clearly stipulate how these funds should be claimed back, what constitutes unclaimed funds, and even the period of time that must elapse before the funds are deemed unclaimed. So once again, just as the party has done with the other bills that have passed before, we want to render our full support to this very, very important bill. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, microfinance institutions are generally classified into two. We have deposit-taking microfinance institutions and non-deposit-taking microfinance institutions. So there are times really that these institutions would have customers or clients, that deposited funds with them, and these accounts remain dormant for a long, long, long time, and then the owners eventually are not found, are not traced. Those are the accounts, those are the funds that will really be deemed unclaimed funds according to the Public Finance Management Act. And it's only fair, it's only proper that these unclaimed funds are credited to account number 1 to the consolidated fund so that government should have liquidity to be able to provide social services to the public. There is bantam, moving around. And I think, Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, you referred to it earlier on when I was speaking to my neighbor here that the people of Area 25 must probably have their own country. We should have an immigration somewhere there around Kanengo and demand to get passports from them. The reason is that the project which Dr. Jaguar's administration started, the construction of the road from ABC 4925, has really stalled, but it's about cash flow challenges. And these are the funds, Deputy Speaker, that could be used for such developments. In fact, 2 weeks ago, if you saw in the papers, one of the day papers, there was an article that National Bank is keeping about 100 billion US dollars, Malawi kwacha, of claimed funds. And they don't know what to do with it because, the current legal framework really does not provide clarity in terms of how these funds should be treated. And so that's why this bill is very, very important. With those few remarks, Honourable Deputy Speaker, we fully support this bill. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I now recognize the Honourable Member for Chitipa Chendo to speak on behalf, under my discretion, on behalf of the UTM. Thank you.
Thank you very much, once again, for your gracious act of allowing UTM to give an input on this bill. First Deputy, Mr. Speaker, sir, according to Standing Order number 155, we as UTM fell short of one honorable member, as you rightly said, for us to qualify to comment on as a party in this House. So we don't take your act for granted. Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, I rise on behalf of the entire UTM family to give an input on the proposal to amend the Microfinance Act in order to provide for the administration of unclaimed funds held by microfinance institutions in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act 2022. As a country, we can talk of transparency, accountability, and uniformity consistent with management of unclaimed funds within the microfinance sector if we fail to amend this act. First Deputy Mr. Speaker, sir, silence on how unclaimed funds held by microfinance institutions has created a big gap that needs to be filled urgently, and that this has to be done now, today and now. These funds can't continue to be handled by the registrar, but instead they need to go to the rightful account, which is account number 1. Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, we as UTM fully support the amendment of Microfinance Act that seeks to provide for the administration of the unclaimed fund held by microfinance institutions in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act 2022. I submit.
Thank you, honourable members. The same standing order acknowledges the chairperson if they have brought a report. So we have received a report.
Zachitika kuti? Zachitika nthawi zanji? Kodi nanga amene wapanga ndani? Musakhale nawo gulu lovutika ndi mphekesera ayi. Tapangani subscribe ku Malawi Daily Headlines lero kuti zochitika mdziko mwanu momwe zisamakuponyeni.